Hey everyone, I'm back. I did have a few things to talk about tonight. My second topic is about some of my older students. I teach kindergarten. They're actually 4 years old. Um, wait, yeah, 4 years old from 9:50 in the morning until 2:50 in the afternoon every day, Monday through Friday. And then after them, I have 8-year-olds from 3 until 4:20 every day except one day. They have class with their Korean manager one day a week, and then the other 4 days are with me. Recently, I think they're becoming more aware of their body. Well, the boys are. My boys are deciding. Well, let me tell you the story. Um, One of my little girls in this class, she wore a skirt to school the other day. And she was so excited about wearing a skirt. It's getting hot now, and before they were all wearing pants and long sleeve shirts, and it's getting to where they can actually wear shorts and skirts. So the little girl was excited about her new dress. She was like, "Teacher, look!" And she twirled in front of me. And her skirt came up a little bit. It wasn't bad. I was like, "Okay, sit down. It's not dance time." So she sat down, and while I was going around the room talking to my other kids, checking their homework and things like that, two of my boys said, "Hey, do it again, do it again." So she got up and moved to where the boys were and started spinning. And her dress came up a little bit to where her underwear showed. And the boys were like, "Hee hee hee, do it again, do it again." And they got on the floor and they were looking up her dress as she was spinning and laughing about it. And she was just like, "Ah ha ha ha." And as soon as I saw what was happening, I said, "Everyone sit down." And I told the girl not to do that anymore, not to spin around. And I told the boys to stop. Well, it happened a couple of more times during the class where they wanted her to spin, and they asked her, even though I told her not to do it. They're 8 years old, they don't listen. Finally, one of the other girls was like, "Come here, come here, come here." And she whispered, "When you twirl, your skirt flies up. You can see everything." She's like, "Oh!" It's like, "Stop doing that." And, she finally realized, oh, now I know why the boys wanted me to twirl. Um, Another day this past week, one of the boys, all of my kids take Taekwondo. All of the Korean kids take Taekwondo. It's like the national sport, pastime, I don't know. Taekwondo. Um, so one of the boys was wearing his gi. I think it's called a gi for Taekwondo, not sure. But he was wearing his gi for class. And I'd already told the kids to pack up their things and get ready for the bell. He was standing behind the little girl, and he said something like, "I'll let you touch me if I can touch you." And I just heard this, and I looked over, and the little girl, same little girl that was twirling, and this is one of the same little boys who was telling her to twirl. The little girl was putting her hand in his gi, like where it split open, and like was touching him. And I was like, "What are you doing? Stop doing that." And I was telling her to stop as the little boy was putting his hand down her shirt. And they're only 8 years old, but like they're to the point where they just want to touch each other, or the boys are curious, and the girl just doesn't realize, that, I mean, they're 8. And that was that instance. Then today or yesterday, I don't remember, the little girl was wearing a shirt that slips off of her shoulders. in Korea, it's okay to wear really, really, really short skirts and shorts, but if you show your shoulders, that is scandalous. Like, I couldn't go out like this. So showing your shoulder, ooh, look at that collarbone. That's scandalous, you know? And this little girl was sitting in my class, same little girl with the twirling and the touching. She does this to where, like, the shirt is covered, but she does it to where her shoulder is sticking out here. And she's just, doing that. In America, you wouldn't think anything of it. And the little boys were like, oh, do it again, do it again. And stop. Don't show your shoulder. Do not do that. And I don't want it to become a problem where the boys are encouraging her to, like, show off parts of her body. So I was thinking about how I'm going to talk to the girl. But then I realized, why do I only need to talk to the girl? Like, whenever I was going over how I would address the situation, in my mind, I was always talking to the girl. Like the scenario that I would run through my head, what I'm going to say to her. It's like, honey, you can't listen to boys. You can't just sit there and twirl around whenever they say, oh, twirl, when they're obviously looking up your skirt. You can't show your shoulder with their encouragement. You can't, put your hand down their shirt so they can put their hand down your shirt. And, like, in every scenario that I ran through in my head, I was never talking to the boys. It was always what I would say to the girl. And I think that's wrong. I mean, that would be taking the easy way out, right? Telling the girl, don't let yourself become a victim, but never saying anything to the boys. It just seems like that's the easiest way. In my head, I was always saying, boys are going to be boys. Don't listen to them. Don't let yourself become a victim. But the girl wasn't doing anything wrong. They were telling her to do something, and she was doing it, ignorant to what their true intentions were. But why do I tell her not to become a victim instead of telling the boys, don't victimize her? And I think that's just our society. Maybe with the whole uh, UCSB shootings with Elliot Rodgers, I'm thinking about it a little bit more. Maybe it's because I am teaching young children and I want them to grow up well. I want them to be active members of society. I want them to know right from wrong. I want them to grow up to be good, honorable adults, good, honorable young adults, good, honorable children. And so I'm thinking about things more because I am raising someone else's child, lots of children. It just, I don't know, like, the fact that I didn't think first, how am I going to get the boys to stop telling this girl, to show off parts of her body or letting them touch her? Why wouldn't I think, first of all, what am I going to say to the boys? The boys need to stop saying this. I can't give them the excuse, boys will be boys. Because if that's the excuse, girls will be girls too. They're going to listen to the boys' encouragement for attention. I mean, everyone wants a little bit of attention, especially at 8 years old. Any attention is good attention. So I've been thinking about what I'm going to say to the boys. It's just not right for them. They're 8 years old. And that's not an excuse either. It's just not right for them to, I don't know, I don't want them to grow up to treat girls like that. Like, oh, just do this, just do that. Show me this, show me that. Demanding things. And the girl is just eating it up because it's attention. I don't know. And I'm kind of surprised at myself too, because being a woman, I should understand how a little girl feels. Maybe that's why my first thought was teaching her how to be smart instead of teaching the boys how to not be dumb. There's a difference. There is. That's my thought of the day about that. I'm going to keep this video a little bit short. Sorry for ranting and raving. It's just, I've never had to deal with kids going through puberty while I wasn't going through puberty with them. And it's kind of, they're 8, right? Does puberty hit at 8? I guess children are just curious about other children, getting to know about their bodies and other people's bodies, but I've never had to deal with, teaching someone right from wrong like this. So those are my thoughts. Any feedback, help? What should I say to the boys? Much appreciated. I do have another topic that I need to talk about tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and uh, work on that one. Okay, I hope you guys are enjoying all of these updates. I'll be back to talk to you in just a few. Take care.